Hi, I'm Dave,
And I'm Marie.
and we're the Old School Soulmates.
Today we're going to do a What's Sold on eBay video. These are just a few of the items that we sold this week on eBay. The first item is a pair of Clarks. Clarks are our staple brand, of course. These are mules clogs. You want to put as many items as you can in the description line. And they sold for $24.95. The next item, this is a pair of Robert Wayne. We don't find these a lot. They're kind of a over-the-top hip shoes and boots. So very westerny looking. They kind of mimic cowboy boots. These were great shape, and they sold for $39.95. This is Tory Richards. This is a popular brand of Hawaiian shirt. These, I think this actually might have even gone to Hawaii. I'm not positive, but it's funny how many of our Hawaiian shirts actually go to Hawaii. But yeah. It was in great shape, and it sold for $34.95. This is something kind of unusual. You know, like we always say, if you've never seen it before and it's cheap enough, you might want to buy it. So we looked it up. This is like a garment bag from Tony Lama Boots, and they make, quality boots. The funny part about these garment bags is they have a space for your boots on the outside, so they actually have a zipper pocket designed for cowboy boots. So we took a chance on it. There wasn't a whole lot of them listed, and it sold for $29.95, and we probably didn't pay more than $2.99 for something like this. And it's because it's a canvas bag, it folded up nice and easy and shipped on out. Right, simple.
Yeah, you can see the cowboy boot compartment there on this one here. You see the two outlines there, but interesting.
Now this is one of our purses, and when I stumble across purses, you have high-end purses, you have designer purses, and then sometimes you just have your basics. I don't see a lot of SAS purses, and they are a very popular brand of shoe. They are more for mature people, I think. This is just an interesting pattern, and patchwork seems to always sell. So I picked it up, and they don't weigh much. They're a small carry purse. They're not large size, and all of our purses are usually $3.99, and a lot of times I get them on sale for $2. So, and it sold for $24.95.
And SAS stands for San Antonio Shoes, right? So, and that's a brand of shoes that you'll see in a lot of our videos, actually, because we get a lot of those. These are wheel locks that we found at a thrift store for about $1.99, and they're still new in the box. So I picked them up. I thought I might sell them on Amazon, but turns out that they weren't able to be sold on Amazon because I guess I'm gated on that. So we sold them on eBay, and they sold for $24.95.
The next item is a pair of FitFlops. Now you're going to see that name brand a lot on actually flip-flops. They have kind of a rocker bottom on them, so they're kind of meant to exercise while you walk. That's the philosophy behind this. But this is actually a pair of shoes, Oxfords. Anything that laces up like that is considered an Oxford. Also made by FitFlop, and that is a very popular brand for the flip-flops, and we do sell them as well. And when I came across these, I said, well, these will be wonderful, and picked them up, and we sold them for $39.95. These are Bally shoes. Bally's great name, great brand of shoes, high end. These have never been worn. These are brand new shoes, very, very tiny, 6.5. These shoes probably sell for $300, Because of the small size, though, it makes it difficult sometimes to sell. So these have a cap toe, which is when you see that line across the toe, and then it has the broguing, which is the little holes. It has a lot going on. Plus, it's a very nice color brown. And we sold these. We took a best offer on these, actually, for $80. sometimes you take a best offer, especially if it's an unusual size, a small size, or something just had kicking around for a long time. I paid $4 for these shoes. Now, this is just something weird I stumbled upon at a churchyard sale for $1. And
we're nowhere near Detroit, but this is the
no,
Detroit Tigers fanny pack, right?
yep, that's it.
And
Just a little vinyl
little
fanny
tiny
pack.
things shipped in almost a 6x9 envelope.
It was
'cause
probably
so tiny.
given out to season ticket holders, if I had to
Yeah.
guess.
Still had a little tag on it,
Yeah, it
right?
was new with tags.
Never
Yeah.
been used, but
Yeah, we sold it for $14.95. We tend to pick up a lot of sports team stuff. Now, you don't want to pick up everything sports teams. I mean, there's websites out there that just have plastered the market.
you got to be sure that sports stuff is real. So
And authorized product.
if it's NFL, you want to see the NFL tags in it. If it's NHL, you want to see NHL tags in it and that kind of thing. You don't want to, because you get a lot of trouble selling fake stuff on eBay, even if you don't realize it's fake.
This is the Teva sandals. Teva, common brand you're going to see, hiking sandals, outdoors type sandals. I don't normally pick these up, but I got these at one of those, like a benefit yard sale that they were having, and the shoes were 99 cents a pair. So for 99 cents, I can definitely buy a pair of sandals for 99 cents and sell them for $24.95 because they go in a padded flat rate and they just out the door they go quickly.
And you may notice on some of our shoes, as you're looking at these pictures, these marks here, you see this kind of white mark on the shoe here, that B. Some of those actually they come from the Goodwill, and sometimes we leave them on there. And the reason we leave them on there, it's a good way to kind of make sure that it's really your shoe in case it's returned. Sometimes people will buy a pair of shoes that are in good shape and send you back something that's not. Yeah, so we had a pair of shoes one time that disintegrated. I mean, it was something that looked good when we got it. They wore it for a few hours, it fell apart. It happens sometimes. Despite your best intentions. And one of the things that was kind of nice is to be when they send us a picture of it, we could see that mark on there, and we could compare it to the pictures that we have on our listing, and we knew, yeah, that's our shoe. Nobody's going to try to copy that or forge that. So it's a pretty kind of a low-tech way to kind of make sure you're really getting your shoe back. But a little quick tip there.
This is a pair of Clark's Chukka boots. Again, all these names, when you see the two I Chukka tan boots and these fancy names, where you find them is you look them up on eBay like you want to buy it. And when you find one that's what yours is, that's how you know what to call it. But again, these are a soft sole shoe. You got to be on soft sole shoes and crepe sole shoes too, both. You got to make sure that there isn't a lot of wear because, especially with men's shoes, they wear their shoes hard. And when you looked at these heels on these shoes, they look like there's no wear whatsoever. So very nice shoes.
Okay, this is a Victory motorcycle brand shirt. And motorcycle stuff does really well, especially all year round, really. I mean, you could say there's motorcycle season starts in March or April or May, but, it really, people that love this stuff wear this stuff all year round. And Victory is an American brand owned by Polaris now, but it's kind of kind of along the vein of Harley Davidson. Not quite as valuable as Harley Davidson, not quite as popular, but it still sells.
And this Tommy Hilfiger shirt's very common shirt you're going to see. We tend not to buy a lot of these now unless they're extremely unusual. I personally had never seen this kind of a pinky striped one, so we were on a half price at Goodwill, and we said, oh, for $2.50, let's give it a shot. And it sold pretty quickly, so sold it for $24.95.
Yeah, and we have probably a ton of Tommy shirts that when we first started doing this, we thought, we heard everybody say, Tommy for your mommy. So we went out and bought mommy a bunch of Tommies and too many Tommies, honestly. And so we're probably going to end up lotting some of those up because we're just trying to liquidate them at this point. But we probably bought way too many of them. But not every Tommy is good. Again, brands are not really where it's at. It's the individual item. You've got to check that item. You got to see what the style is. If it's something that has a spell out on it with Tommy Hilfiger, will sell in 5 minutes. Something like this shirt in a blue stripe that's really nothing spectacular, probably going to sit on your shelf for a long time. So.
Yeah, this particular shirt, if you notice on the tag here, it says 1204, and that's December of 2004 is when that shirt was made. So this is 2019, so the shirt's 15 years old. Not quite vintage, but it's an older style Tommy Hilfiger, and that makes a difference as well. You know,
right. And Tommy shirts always generally have a date in them.
Yeah, and it's
right.
under that inside tag on the side. You know, the one that annoys you when you're wearing it.
Yeah, this is down near the shirt tail, so
yeah.
not at the top or anything.
Yeah.
So. Go Titans!
This is a vintage Titans shirt. This is from 2000 when they were the Central Division champions. Again, you'll see that it's made by Lee, which was very common to manufacture these back then. This is probably made in the USA, if I had to guess. Stuff that's dated and so forth like that, it makes it easier. We know it's from 2000, not a problem. Lee is the brand that was around at the time, and Titans do have a following. Yeah. So
it actually has if you look really close down here at the bottom, I don't know if you can see it on the video or not, but there's actually a trademark, and it says NFL on it. So.
All right, Our next item here, this is Roar shirt. Roar is a kind of a young man's brand. They've got pretty extensive detailing, everything, embroidery. This is a calm one.
Yeah, this one isn't.
They can be really crazy, and they are extremely popular. Okay. This is an unusual brand of shoes. Even if you go on eBay and look them up, you're not going to see very many listed. These are a designer brand, extremely expensive brand of shoes. When they're new, they're $400 or $500. I knew nothing about them. I saw them at the thrift store. I'm like, those look interesting. So I looked them up. Was shocked when I saw what they were worth. So picked them up, and they sold yesterday for $69.95.
Yeah, if it looks quality, if it looks different, looks oddball, it's worth taking a couple minutes to look it up.
This is another brand that I've never heard of in my life. It was unusual. It was very soft leather. Again, take a minute and just look it up. If you can tell the difference between a Kmart shoe and a shoe that someone bought somewhere, these were...
And if you can't now, after you've handled thousands of shoes, you will.
You will be able to tell the difference.
We have an inventory system that tracks at one, and it goes sequentially up. And our inventory is in the 3,300 range. That means we bought 3,300 things for eBay in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. And most of them are shoes. So once you've handled that many shoes, a lot of the stuff you won't even need to look up. But
every single week I find a brand I've never heard of.
Right.
And I look it up and I'm like, put that in the column to purchase the next time I see it.
Okay.
This is a pair of Zelly men's Savannahs. Another brand never heard of, had no clue. And lo and behold, I looked them up and they actually sold for a decent amount of money. So picked them up because they were on sale, of course, so half price, and sold them today actually for $39.95. And if you notice on this particular shoe, these are mismatched. And this happens, you will buy them, sometimes you'll get home, if you forgot to check both shoes, one shoe would be one size and one shoe will be another. List it and disclose it and hope for the best. That's all you can do.
And hope it doesn't get returned because somebody can't read.
Yeah, because that does happen.
Last but not least,
okay,
I'll let you tell them about this one, honey. This is your find here.
Okay, I am a sucker for old radios. I don't know why. I just think they're so cool. So anyway, so I stumbled upon this thing, the RCA solid state camping radio. And it had everything. It had an antenna, it had earphones, it had the owner's manual, it has a flashlight, a compass, and everything worked but the compass.
Yeah, it's
So
a,
the
it's
little
like
compass didn't
Swiss
work.
Army knife of radios.
Yeah,
It even had the manual with it and the original earphones, which I don't know if I'd use, but kind of cool to have.
But they were brand new.
There's the flashlight there, and
Everything worked except that compass.
Had this compass here on top. Now that actually comes out too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we took a picture of that, but the compass actually is removable. And that's the battery compartment. Here's a tip on electronics. Open up the battery compartment. Always open up the battery compartment. Look at it. If you see batteries corrode, and they'll ruin these things. And if this thing we'd open this up and it was just rusted out, don't get it. It's not gonna do you any good. Nobody's gonna want it. Same with calculators. Same with tape recorders. Any kind of electronics that uses batteries. Any pocket games. Anything that could possibly have a battery. Even phones and things like that have prepackaged batteries. Sometimes they can get kind of corroded and stuff like that. But yeah, just make sure you check the battery compartment. We just, like I say, took some pictures to show that it's in good shape, and try to use as many pictures as possible to.
Well, that wraps up what's sold this week on eBay. If you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see in future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, and please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.